Good day, mate. Welcome back to the channel. I'm FPL Root and welcome back to another Euro 2024 fantasy video. So in today's video, we'll be going through groups D, E and F and looking at the best assets you should be bringing in from the teams in them groups. If you haven't watched it already, go check out my groups A, B and C after this video. You can watch it in different orders, it doesn't really matter. But for this one, like I said, we're going to be going through D, E and F. Poland, Netherlands, Austria and France in Group D. Belgium, Slovakia, Romania, Ukraine in Group E, and Group F is Turkey, Georgia, Portugal, and Czechia. So if you do like this video, please end up liking it and subscribe to the channel if you are new as well. And let's get into it.
Yo, listen up, Rue is stepping up the game. Where fantasy Premier League runs in his veins. From transfers to captains, he's always on top. Guiding you through every game week non-stop. They say Rue got that Salah flow. Welcome to the channel, enjoy the show. Wild cards, free hits with so much vibe. If you're hunting for success, then make sure you subscribe.
So we'll start off with France, obviously one of the favourites to go through this group and win the whole tournament, to be honest. And it's got to be Kylian Mbappe, to be honest with you. 11 million, he's a forward in this game. I don't think he will be playing central striker. I think he'll be playing from the left and then maybe Ousmane Dembele on the right. But yeah, he's going to be attacking. He's going to score goals, and he's had a really, really good season for PSG in the league. 29 games, 27 goals, 7 assists, which is incredible. Even for France, he's done pretty well in the Euro qualifiers. He's got 9 goals in 8 and 5 assists. So yeah, it's a no-brainer really. He's only 11 million. When we see someone like Haaland in FPL maybe go up to 14 million, he could well be 13 million Mbappe in this game. So 11 million is a bargain, I feel like. And I feel like he's a must-have for every team. Don't overcomplicate it. It's Kylian Mbappe. France are one of the best teams in the tournament. Just go for him. There's an argument to say maybe you should go for more than one French option, and I get that completely. Tia Hernandez, I really, really like the left back. He's 5.5 million, very, very attacking. You could go for someone like Ousmane Dembele at 8 million, maybe Antoine Griezmann at 9 million. But for me, I just think there's better forwards out there to go for, and I think Kylian Mbappe is the one to go for France, and then work from there in terms of maybe a midfielder or a defender. His stats, like I said, this season have been pretty good. He's just potentially, I don't know if it's confirmed yet, but he's going to go to Real Madrid as well. So he's going to want to kind of put on a show before he does make that move. And for me, yeah, just keep it simple. It's Kylian Mbappe. Bring him in your team. Next up, it's a little bit trickier, I'd say. I think there are a few options from the Netherlands to go for. I'm not saying they've got a better team than France, but there's definitely some good players at some interesting prices. I did have someone like Dumfries in, to be honest, originally. He was 5.5 million. We know how good he can be in these tournaments. He's smashed it the World Cup and the Euros previously. Frimpong, even at right back, could play instead of him. Has smashed it for Leverkusen this season. But even someone like Xavi Simons, who's done very, very well on loan at Leipzig from PSG this season. But for me, as soon as I heard the news, Virgil van Dijk could be on penalties. And for me, that's enough. Take my money. 6 million defender. Netherlands as well. Yes, France is a tough game, but apart from that, their group's not too bad. Van Dijk has scored 2 goals, 2 assists for Liverpool this season. So yeah, done really, really well. He's also got a goal in qualifying for the Netherlands when obviously they qualify for this tournament. So yeah, as soon as I heard he's on penalties, he's straight in the team. He's the best asset. The 6 million defender that plays for a team that has some decent centre backs. You know, like I don't know if people actually realise how good kind of the Netherlands defensively are on paper. So they've obviously got Van Dijk, they've got Ake, they've got De Ligt, they've got Van der Ven. Like I said, they've got Frimpong and Dumfries on the right wing back. They've got Daley Blind on the left wing back. So there's so many options out there for the Netherlands and for the Netherlands to play. And I think they're going to be solid defensively because of that. Next up, another defender from Poland. I've gone for Bednarak. Used to be in the Prem, plays for Southampton, back in the Prem. I think he is probably one of the best 4 million defenders out there at the minute. Obviously, this could change when squads get fully announced, when the friendlies come and there's injuries. But Bednarak for 4 million, I think, is a very, very nice option. Played 45 games for Southampton this season in the league, 2 goals. For Poland, He played 8 of the qualifying matches, which was, yeah, pretty good return. And now he's back in the Prem. Obviously, Southampton did get promoted, so he's going to be on a high from that. And I think for 4 million, yeah, I think it's a nice option to go for. To be totally honest with you, I don't love, to be honest, the other Polish assets. Obviously, people think Matty Cash would be a great option, but I don't think he's start. But I've heard he might have an injury as well now. He's left the squad. We also got someone like Kivior, the Arsenal defender. Not for me, but for me, yeah, I think Bednarak 4 million is the one to go for. However, Poland are going to be massive underdogs, obviously, in that group with France and Netherlands in there. Austria, um, struggled, to be honest, struggled to pick a player, but I think this player could be a nice option to go for when they do play Poland. I've gone for Sabitzer, so the Dortmund midfielder. He's, I guess, not a defensive midfielder, not really an attacking midfielder. He's more like a number 8 energy, can get on the end of things, can make a few assists, but mainly I'd say is mainly his like interceptions, his ball recoveries. He's got 4 goals, 3 assists this season in the league for Dortmund. But for me, it's mainly, I'd say, for his tackling. But even in the qualifying, to be honest, for Austria. So for Dortmund, I'm not saying he plays defensive, but he plays more defensive. Whereas Austria, I think he gets a bit of a license to go a bit further forward. 7 matches he's played in the qualifying, 4 goals, 2 assists. And for me, I think it's probably the best option to go for Austria. There's also a few others, but I don't think they're on the level of Sabitzer. So you got Arnautovic for 7 million, who always does well in these tournaments, but you've obviously got David Alaba, who's going to miss the tournament. He's injured, who's one of their best players. He's down as a defender, always plays in midfield. Yeah, for me, I wouldn't go too further than that. But 6.5 million, maybe if you bring him in when he does play Poland, could be a good option. Let's move on to Group E. So now we'll move on to Group E, and we'll start with Belgium. And I have gone for Lukaku. I think it is the obvious option. 9 million he is, obviously a striker. He does so well in tournaments, and he does so well internationally. For Belgium in the qualifying, 8 games he played, 14 goals, 1 assist. Ridiculous. He's just so good for Belgium. Even in the league this season for his club, for Roma, he was playing for. 32 games, 13 goals, 3 assists. Not the best, but that Belgium, 14 goals in 8 games is ridiculous. And that's the reason why I think he's the best Belgium asset. Obviously, people are going to argue Kevin De Bruyne, 9.5 million. The guy's an assist master. Even someone like Trossard at 8 million could be a bargain. Doku at 7 million. You obviously got Feist as well at 4 million if you're looking for a cheap defender. But for me, to be honest, Lukaku just, yeah, out the park. For that price point, 9 million, for the fact that he's a goal machine for Belgium, yeah, I think again, keep it simple, go for Lukaku as the best option from Belgium. Next up, Slovakia. So this was a tough one, to be honest. Not a load of players I know, but I think the person to go for is Skriniar. He only played 1 game for PSG this season. I'm not too sure why that was, but I don't know if he left or whatever. But for Slovakia, he played all 8 qualifying games, and for me, he's the best player. Yeah, I'm not expecting too much, and he's 5 million, but he is definitely their best player. When would I bring him in? Maybe when they're playing Romania and Ukraine. You could argue that it's worth bringing in Skriniar, especially Romania. I think Ukraine are probably the second best team in this group, but there is always, I guess, a chance to bring him in to target that fixture. Maybe Ukraine's already qualified or something like that. So for me, Skriniar from Slovakia is the best option. Next up, Dragusin, the Tottenham player, 4.5 million. His season hasn't been, I guess, great. Obviously started off well at Genoa, played 19 games, 2 goals, 1 assist. Then came to Spurs, played 9 games. A lot of them were off the bench, to be honest. He maybe played, started 5 games when Romero was injured or Van der Ven was injured. Romero was suspended. But for me, for this Romania team, I do think he is actually the best option to go for. Um, Maybe you could argue there is someone else to go for Romania, but for me, I just don't see it. The goalkeeper is not a bad option to go for. Is it Radu? I think his name is. Um, yeah, for me, I just wouldn't go there at all, to be honest. But like I said, if they're playing Slovakia and Ukraine, you could argue that 4.5 million for Dragusin. He's massive. He's tall in the air. Could get you a goal potentially. But yeah, for me, I'd probably wouldn't spend too much money on a Romanian player. Next one is an interesting one, to be honest with you. Ukraine, they've got a few decent talents. Zinchenko, Yarmolenko, um, who else they got? Modric. They've got a few decent players. But again, for me, I don't know if I want to waste a forward spot on them. I think there's better teams out there that have better forwards that you can go for instead. So that's why I have gone for the goalkeeper Lunin. There is a bit of a debate that he won't start. He's only played 2 qualifying games, but now that he's obviously, I don't know if people know this, but he is the Real Madrid goalkeeper now because obviously Courtois was injured. Kepa was this kind of second goalkeeper, played a few games, got demoted to the bench. So Lunin came in, Andre Lunin came in and played. In the league, he ended up playing 21 matches. In the Champions League, he played 8. And yeah, for Ukraine, though, he only played 2 in the qualifying, which is a bit of an issue. But for me, I think he's got to start. He's the Real Madrid goalkeeper this season. He's played the most games for Real Madrid in terms of goalkeeper. He's only 4.5 million. I think he could be a spot in our teams, not even just kind of the best asset for Ukraine. I think he could be a nice spot in my team. So like I said, when they're playing Slovakia, when they're playing Romania, to have a 4.5 million goalkeeper from Ukraine, especially if maybe they need a draw, they could be grind out a 0-0. They want to kind of not go for it too much. Potentially, that could be a good one to go for. So, Ukraine, for me, Lunin is the option to go for. Like I said, you've got Modric, you've got Zinchenko, who probably does normally play in midfield for Ukraine, and I'm pretty sure he is actually down as a midfielder for Ukraine. I'll have to check. Yeah, he's down as a midfielder, 5.5 million though, so not too bad. But Modric is 7 million. Yeah, for me, I think go for Lunin if you're going to go from anyone from Ukraine. Other than that, I probably would give it a miss, to be totally honest with you. To wrap up the group, I do think Belgium will come out on top, and I do think Ukraine will actually finish second. So I think, yeah, if you do want to bring in Lunin, potentially try and miss out that Belgium game and go for Slovakia and Romania. Let's go on to Group F. Now we're on to Group F. So a pretty tough group and a very interesting group, to be honest. You've got Portugal, Turkey, Czechia, and Georgia. We'll start off with Portugal. So obviously we know Portugal have an array of talent. We've obviously got Cristiano Ronaldo, Bruno Fernandes, Rafael Leao, Bernardo Silva, João Felix, Diego Jota, Pedro Neto. That's just the midfield and forward line. They've also got in defence Ruben Diaz, João Cancelo, Diego Dallo. So a lot of talent in this Portugal team. But for me, yes, a lot of people maybe would go for Ronaldo. For me, I'm going to go for Bruno Fernandes, 9 million. Midfielder, will be on pens if Ronaldo's off the pitch, which I feel like he will be a lot in this tournament. For me, he's ended the season in brilliant form. To be honest, even if you look at it now as a whole over the season, 10 goals, 8 assists is not too bad in the league. That is. So for me, I think Bruno Fernandes is going to be a very good asset. Even in qualifying, he absolutely smashed it. 10 matches, 6 goals, 7 assists. What, you couldn't really ask for more. And the thing is with Bruno, you know he's going to play 90 minutes. You know, even if he's half fit, he's playing. He rarely misses a game for Man United. And for me, that's what I want in this tournament, is someone that I can rely on, someone that could be on penalties, someone that does deliver goals and assists. He's going to have to step up for this Portugal team. They've got a lot of talent, but with Ronaldo maybe starting to age, having said that, he obviously smashed it in the Saudi League, 35 goals in the league, 11 assists in 31 matches, but obviously it's not to the level of a European European Championships. So for me, Bruno Fernandes is the player to go for, and I think he should be a good consideration into bringing him into your team anyway. Never mind, he's the best Portugal player. Next up, I want to talk about Hakan Çalhanoğlu. So, to be honest, what a player he is. His set pieces are ridiculous. I can't believe he's only 6.5 million, to be honest with you, and especially how good he is, and I guess what team he does play for. So, with him, he plays for Inter Milan. He's got 13 goals, 3 assists in the league this season. He also got a goal in the Champions League, goal in the Coppa Italia. Good returns, but it's his set pieces. He is a dead ball specialist, and for 6.5 million in a group, I think Turkey fancied themselves to at least come second in. I actually think that Çalhanoğlu is a very good option. The one thing to mind though is 7 games in qualifying, no goals, no assists, which is a little bit worrying. Does that maybe show that he is not that player to be getting the goals and assists in the qualifying? Who knows? But for me, someone that is that cheap, dead ball specialist, for a decent team in the group as well. They're gonna fancy themselves to come second or at minimum third. Yeah, I think he's a good one to go for. Another thing to note with Çalhanoğlu is he was actually born in Germany, so you could argue that he is well known to the surroundings. He's played in these stadiums before. He's played for Leverkusen, Hamburg. So for me, yeah, I think he's a very solid option to go for, and he's definitely the best Turkey option. There is actually a winger I did want to talk about from Turkey. So for me, I'm just not sure he's going to start. I think his name's like Gula, 6 million. But for me, I think just pay the extra 0.5 and get Çalhanoğlu. He's dead piece specialist. He gets goals, get assists. Yeah, for me, go with him. Next up for Czechia, this was a tough one. I've always known kind of Czech Republic to have some decent players. I don't know if anyone watching this remembers, but some people like Milan Baros, Peter Cech as well in defence. They've had some decent players, but this squad, I kind of struggled. The notable ones, the Premier League players are like Thomas Souček, you got Kufal as well, you got Provard as well. But for me, I have decided to go for Patrick Schick. So Patrick Schick is one of them. I don't know how to put this in a nice way. One of them players that plays for in the European leagues, gets 8 to 12 goals most seasons, and just kind of ticks along. But I don't know why, but I feel like when he turns up on the European stage, he is a different animal. Euro 2021, he's got 5 goals. The qualifiers as well, he only got 2 goals, 3 assists, but he only played 4 games. So for me, he's shown that he can do it on the European stage as well. And this season, he had a massive injury at the start of the season. He came back towards the end, got 7 goals for Leverkusen, kind of helping them, I guess, seal the title. And for me, for 7 million, he can be a nice option to go for, especially when Czech Republic play Turkey and Georgia. I think Georgia are probably one of the weakest teams in the tournament. So especially that game, if maybe Czechia need to win by a few goals, that could be a nice player to go for, someone like Patrick Schick. And a lot of the time, they might be playing in the last game of the match days, because obviously they're in Group F. So maybe potential captaincy option if none of your captains are delivered. But for me, Patrick Schick is the one to go for from Czechia. Next up, Georgia. Again, I've just said that I think they're one of the weakest teams in the tournament. However, there is one player that I do like the look of. Whether I want to bring him in my team, I'm not too sure, but I do like the look of. And it's going to be the toughest pronunciation of the video, so bear with me. I'm going to go for Kvaratskhelia. Yeah, we'll go with that. Kvaratskhelia, the Napoli winger. So when Napoli did win the league a few years ago, he was kind of he was like raved about. He got 12 goals, 10 assists. Even this season, though, he's done well. 11 goals, 6 assists. So he's still in good form, still had a good season. And for me, if Georgia are going to do anything in this group, it's going to be down to him. In qualifying, 4 goals, 1 assist, so pretty good. And even in the World Cup qualifying before that, he got 4 goals. So he's a winger, tricky winger, gets goals, gets assists. And for 7 million, probably a bit too much to bring him in my team. But if you did want to go for a Georgia option, someone a bit different, maybe someone like Varchelia, I'm going to go for. Anyway, if you like this video, smash a like, subscribe to the channel. If you are new and you haven't subscribed, it's completely free and it does help me out a lot. And then leave a comment in the comment section below. Do you agree with these picks? Maybe go through each teams and let me know what picks you'd be going for. And yeah, stay tuned for more videos. Go watch groups A, B, and C if you haven't already. Yeah, loads more videos coming out, predictions for the whole tournament. We're going to have my latest draft soon as well. Yeah, loads of videos coming out. So stay subscribed, hit the notification bell, and I'll catch you in the next one.